Walden in the 1840s. The story is an autobiography about him trying to go away from society in a pond near Concord, Massachusetts. The book is about his accomplishments and the things he did while he was there for 2 years. During that time, he met animals and he learned values from them. He's the main character of the story, and some of the minor characters are John Field, this Canadian woodcutter named Alex Deering.
Hi, my name is Henry David Thurrow.
And James.
Hey James, I'd like to buy some supplies for the house that I'm building on Walden Pond.
You know how much you need?
I was thinking along the lines of 2 sticks.
Let me get them for you.
Okay. Thank you very much for your service.
There you go.
Oh, these will come in handy for sure.
They're pretty strong.
Yeah. Looks
Yeah,
like some
hold
heavy
on.
quality sticks.
Yeah.
And of course, here's payment for your troubles.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, James.
Just look at.
Thurrow moves into Walden Pond near Concord, Massachusetts on July 4th, 1845. He lives there for 2 years and 1 month. The story is an autobiography. Henry is a very open-minded, liberal nature person. He enjoys watching the wildlife frequently and does so very much in his free time. He preaches throughout the course of the book, living on his own and not conforming to the pressures of society. He bases his life on simplicity. He's a very upper-class man. He is Harvard alumni and well-educated. During the nights, he likes taking walks and listening to the crickets, and it helps him before he sleeps. He also allowed as many pests in the winter into his home so they don't freeze. His first language is English. He governs himself at Walden Lake, and he doesn't like unnecessary harm to nature. His main philosophy throughout the novel is just self-reliance and anti-technology, anti-society. He tells everyone that living on your own, away from the pressures of society, is pure bliss.
Oh, I see you're already outside.
Yeah, I like to spend a lot of my time outside. My name's Henry.
I'm just an old settler.
So what brings you to Walden Pond?
Just looking at what I've created. You know, I'm the one who originally stoned this lake.
Really? How long ago was that?
Oh, quite some time ago.
Do you like talking about philosophy?
Actually, I do.
I've had something troubling me for the past few days. What do you think came first, the chicken or the egg?
Well, I think it would make sense that the chicken came first, would you think?
I don't know. It's a troubling question.
Walden is a book about the autobiography of Henry Thoreau. It is mostly about his encounters with wildlife and nature when he goes to Lake Walden in the woods near Concord, Massachusetts. Throughout the book, he makes frequent trips back into town, into Concord, Massachusetts, where he interacts with people. He's still a friendly person, but just likes his privacy and would like to escape society. While he's in Walden, he builds a house where he would be staying, which also taught him the values of self-reliance and using his own resources and tools to get what he needs. In the winter, when it gets cold, he lets the animals stay in his house, and most of his time he spends exploring Lake Walden and the depths of it. He comes across a couple characters in the book, one being Alex Therian and John Fields. Alex Therian was the one person who came closest to being Henry Thoreau's friend, although he didn't call him his friend. He was just more of an acquaintance. He compared Alex Therian to being just like the Walden Pond because he said his mind was bottomless, just like the pond was. He looked at Alex Therian to be a very smart, intellectual person, but who was also not educated because he could not read or write. Throughout the book, this is who he spends his time with if he isn't by himself. During his stay at his home that he built in Walden, he allows his visitors to come through because he still is a friendly person and interacts with people.
Hey, aren't you that guy Henry?
Yeah, that's me.
We've been looking for you. You haven't paid your taxes.
Which tax?
Your poll taxes.
Poll taxes? I don't believe in that. I haven't paid that in 6 years.
Well, you need to pay them. You live in America.
I'm not gonna pay them.
Well, then you need to go to Yale. Look, just in front of it, so I can take you in right now if you want.
I'm not gonna pay your poll tax.
Well, then I guess I might have to arrest you. This way.
This is why I hate society. All I'm doing is sitting here in this jail cell. Couldn't the state do something better? Is this really the best use of my time? My name is Henry David Thoreau. When I began to live at Walden Pond, I am 28 years old. My home is at Walden Pond for these 2 years in Concord, Massachusetts. I am a wealthy and Harvard-educated man. I have no romantic partners but the earth. I've studied many religions of the world, and I find spirituality only in nature, and I know God's will. People tend to consider me upper class because of my past at Harvard and my connections. I feel great comfort in being a nonconformist in society, and I am a huge advocate of self-reliance. One of my passions is to read books in the evening and to write poetry in my free time, which I have a lot of during my stay at Walden Pond. I'm a very deep thinker, which gives me time to consider life philosophy. The goal of my trip is to stay away from society so I can truly experience the natural world as biology intended. My friend Emerson has taught me to see negative light in our society. In the mornings, I like to tend to my bean field, which helps me quench my need for hunger and my green thumb. All of my materials I used to build my house near Walden Pond were from other establishments. I respect wildlife very much and even let them into my home to avoid the frost. I think that we can learn a lot of lessons from them. Religion is one of the things that crosses my mind during my lifespan of thinking for myself. I am not affiliated with one specific religion, but I've studied many. I think that religious motivation should come from within and from nature and wildlife around us. I make spiritual associations during my stay at Walden, comparing the ants' warfare to human warfare.
The theme of Walden is learning the value of self-reliance, doing things on your own, and not depending on society.
The greatest lesson after my stay on Walden Pond is that industrialism and the rise of technology is a bittersweet human achievement. On one hand, you are given easier access jobs that previously took longer and less efficient. But on the other hand, people are becoming too intertwined with technology and material goods, making their lives a lot more complicated than what nature intended. I recommend everyone takes a trip with some sort of technology-less concepts, so you can really understand